Hello everybody, we are going to explain our application to MATLAB Octave to a problem, which is creating an airfoils for 3D printing. This program has been made by Lluís Armengol Garcia, Olga Mato Garriga and Miquel Salamasana. First of all, the table of contents of this presentation is first to explain the goal of the program, then some theory concepts like 3D printers, STL files and NACA airfoils, then some things about our code, and then a video with the verification with MeshLab and a little surprise. First of all, the goal of our program is to interpret a number of NACA airfoil and generate an STL file in order to print this airfoil with a requested height with a 3D printer. To do this, we are going to follow three steps. First, a data collection, next, the creation of the airfoil, and then the conversion to STL. First of all, what are 3D printers? What they do? Printer reads commands of coordinates called G-code, which are generated with a program called Slicer. This program divides a shape into multiple layers. This shape obviously is the object to be printed in STL format. Next theory concept we must know is what is an STL file. It describes only the surface geometry of a three-dimensional object without any representation of color, texture, or other common CAD model attributes. For our problem, it's important to know that an STL file describes a raw and structured triangulated surface, which means that we must define the surface of our geometry with a triangulated mesh. We also must know that the units must be normal and the vertices must be ordered by the right-hand rule, and they must point outside. To properly form a 3D volume, the surface represented by any STL file must be closed and connect, where every edge is part of exactly two triangles and not self-intersecting. Last of all, a theory concept that we must know is NACA airfoils. What are NACA airfoils? They are airfoil shapes for aircraft wings developed by National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, NACA. The shape of NACA airfoils is described using a series of digits. NACA airfoils are described by three numbers, the first, the second, and a group formed by the 3 and 4. They describe in this order the maximum camber as percentage of the chord, the distance of maximum camber from the airfoil leading edge in tenths of percentage of the chord, and the maximum thickness of the airfoil as percent of the chord.
Now we will explain the code. It has three different parts: the data collection, the creation of the airfoil, defining the upper and lower functions, and the conversion to an STL file of it. The user is asked for three parameters, which are the NACA number, the chord, and the height. If anyone is introduced wrong, the program shows an error message and the process must be started again with the correct values of it. With the parameters selected, the second step is to create the two-dimension airfoil. First, three values related with the NACA number are needed to compute all the functions. With them, the camber bend and the thickness are calculated with the functions shown in the screen. With the camber bend and the thickness, the coordinates of the upper and the lower surface are calculated, and the airfoil in two dimensions is completely defined. And now it's possible to generate an STL file of the airfoil selected. First, it's necessary to know the top and the bottom height. The bottom is 0, and the top is the relation between the height and the chord. With them, the STL file is open, and in this program is called FID. To write the file is used a function called oneTriangle, which needs four inputs, that are the file name, which in this case is FID, and all the three triangle points, which are P1, P2, P3 in a concrete order. Finally, the mesh is generated for the upper, the lower, the top, and the bottom surfaces, using different loops and all the coordinates computed before. As shown in the screen, all of them are used. With it, the file is completely defined, and now we show the verifications to ensure that the code is correct and the STL file is correctly generated.
Okay, first of all, before running the program, we're going to define the definition of the airfoil. As default, it's going to be a high number because we want a high definition airfoil to be printed. However, to demonstrate that the STL file has correctly been created, we're going to lower that number to see properly the triangles. To do that, we're going to change this number to 50. Okay. Then we just run the program. As we can see, here appears the input where we have to put the numbers. They have to be entered in the way that the program says, otherwise an error message will appear. Now the chart of the airfoil in millimeters, so we set it as 100, and the height of the airfoil want it to be 5 centimeters, which are okay. And then the STL file has been created. We can see it right here with the name of the NAC airfoil that we introduced. Once we have created the airfoil, now we are going to do a verification. What do we mean with a verification? We're going to open this file with a program called MeshLab, with which we're gonna see if the triangulated mesh has correctly been created. Okay, so here we have our airfoil, which, as we can see, it has a shape of the airfoil with the height we specified and the chart that we also specified. Now we can see the triangulated mesh that has been created in the top, in the bottom, and in the lateral surface. If we just wanted more definition, we just have to define in the program the number of triangles to be created. If we had done this, the triangles would have been so small that we wouldn't have been able to see them. Okay, now we see we have generated the airfoil in a correct way. We're going to open it with the 3D printing program to print it. Okay, so after the verification of the STL file with the MeshLab program, we're going to open it with the Slicer program, which will divide it into multiple layers and export it as a G-code for the final 3D printing program. We are going to open a variation of the airfoil, which is with a higher definition. We can see here the airfoil and the multiple layers, which is going to be created. And we just set to export it as a G-code. Okay, once the G-code has been created, we just have to open it. As you can see here, the G-code. Okay. It appears here, and it seems to be all ready to start the 3D printing. Thank you so much, and hope you enjoy the video.